becomes very important. Evident Mahopa, fresh from coming from the Olympics, is one of those that we are saying our future lies there. But Keegan Dolly on the left-hand side will be important in terms of bringing in the crosses. 21 caps for Bafana, 3 goals that he has scored. So Dolly needs to give the width, Shandu needs to give the width. But the key, what you'll see happen, Doc, is that at times you'll see Shandu there and at times you'll see Mudau there. Yes. Because they are going to be allowed to interchange positions because they are both fullbacks and they have the responsibility to attack and then also defend. Okay.
Doggy, I look at this and I'm thinking, is this the traditional 4-4-2 that you used to play back in the day?
Yeah, but Upumuto is highlighting the right-hand side of Bafana. That means they've loaded the right-hand side because he's playing 2 right fullbacks. Obviously, in modern football, we say they're playing on the wings. So they're very good in terms of going forward. Mudau is very good. Upumuto is right when he says Shandu, when he tucks in, he goes. But what I like most is that having said Uqulu hasn't played Amakima Maning. Manje, Mopega, the side Uqulu Aguyo, it's loaded. Look at Mvala. Also haven't played much of the games, but a little bit played at 60% of the games. But I think it's a team very strong that has a lot of depth in terms of in the middle of the park. We do have 2 central defenders that will allow the Dolly on the left-hand side, which is the wing play, and the Shandu or Mudau on the right-hand side to overlap. 2 strikers, that means he's going for it, for a kill.
Right, let's take now a look at Guinea and how they've lined up. I see only 1 substitute there. I'm not sure why there's only 1, but there is still Bangale Sihila, Moria Konate, before the Tosonko, Conte, Chika Umara, Celia and Kane, who are all sitting on that bench. But let's talk about the 11 there.
Yeah, when you're looking at the formation, Kone comes back in goal for them. He has not been part of the national team for a while, but the man that is going to be very dangerous. And I understand why they're playing with 2 right fullbacks. That is Bafana. When you're looking at Sila, he was there, part of the AFCON at left back. He has got 66 caps for them at left back. He becomes a very important member. But when you go into midfield, that's where Diawara is. He plays his football out at Roma in Italy. He becomes an important member of this team, playing as a defensive midfielder. But up front, jersey number 10 is going to be very important in Mariba. Mariba is going to be tucking in a lot and playing as a second striker to allow Sila to then go on the overlap to add that numerical advantage. So when you're looking at this formation that Guinea would be playing, they are playing a 4-3-3 formation, Andile. And in midfield, the triangle is facing down with Diawara becoming a very important member of this team. 4-3-3 against a 4-4-2 formation.
Well, there it is. That's how they line up for this big match for Bafana. A true test of where we are as far as strength is concerned. Well, now, so the delicious new chicken Big Mac from McDonald's with, of course, all the trimmings. It looks really, really good. But, you're wondering, why, man? You red card, man. They can't have call it a Big Mac if it's not chicken. Well, I mean, it's a bicycle kick. Still a bicycle kick if there's no bicycle? Is it still? You got to ask yourself all those things. Also, think about it. Is a referee still a referee without a whistle? What about a free kick? Is it still a free kick if it's not free? These are all questions that you might be asking yourself at home. And of course, the answer is all there. Why don't you have a chicken Big Mac while you figure it all out? Right, very simple, guys. I want to know, before we dive into that McDonald's, how do you see it plan out?
I think it's a Bafana team that is not tried and tested.
Yeah.
A couple of experienced players in Sianda Tulu, experience of Mbala, and experience of a Keegan Dolly. Up front, we've got 2 youngsters that are both 21. So I'm looking at this game. If they can get a 1-0 draw, I'll be happy because they would have gotten the experience. 1-0 draw.
Yeah, well, some of the boys, we coach from Babona. I think a draw will be a fair result for them. But from the look of things, because the Guinea team, they're all based in Europe. I'm not from
Guy.
I know. Blood is thicker than water. Asongzwile sengisho ukuthi izoba draw 1-1 nami ngisho njalo.
1-1. Okay.
Yes.
We're going to get out of here. We do have Brian Fuking and Mark Huskins as well, who is giving us the match over the next 90 minutes. But it's 45 before you see us again. Until then, enjoy the game.
Now that's a chicken Big Mac.
A chicken Big what? A Big Mac has beef. Isn't chicken.
Of course it's a Big Mac with chicken.
There's no such thing.
Look up there. What does it read?
That has to be a typo.
Look, is Amapiano still Mapiano if there's no pianos?
We're talking about a Big Mac.
It's a chicken Big Mac.
A Big Mac.
A chicken Big Mac is a Big Mac.
A Big Mac is a Big Mac, bruh.
Why are you so hard-headed?
Because you're chicken-headed.
Very good evening to you. Welcome to it. It is South Africa up against Guinea in Belgium. It is the friendly match here for the two nations as they are not taking part in the World Cup qualifiers. Both have been knocked out of the qualifying phase of the World Cup that is taking place later on in Qatar. So South Africa playing Guinea for the third time in the history of the two nations. Previous two matches were won by Guinea 2-0 and 1-0. They were supposed to have met in the 2002 FIFA World Cup qualifiers, but because Guinea was therefore banned just before that, so those two matches were never played between the two nations. Coming in today's encounter, the man in charge of Guinea is in charge of his fifth match overall. So far, they've won two matches, they've lost one, they've drawn one, and that was when they played in the AFCON tournament proper after they took over. That is when they took over just before the tournament kicked over. Talking about the man in charge of South Africa there, the Belgian himself, talking about Hugo Broos. He's coming here today looking to continue to find form. The first loss that South Africa suffered since he took over the coaching reins was when they lost against Ghana by 1-0 in 13 matches. But all those matches, there were different coaches in charge of South Africa within that run. So let's talk first of all and bring Mark Huskins. Mark, it is a big one indeed for South Africa. They're using this match here today to try and prep themselves for the AFCON qualifiers that are coming up in June against Guinea.
Yeah, and those are obviously going to be really critical games. Important for us to qualify for a major tournament. We heard Hugo Broos saying that it is important for Bafana to be at those tournaments. We're not necessarily saying they need to win them already, but the fact that they're not there is a big problem. They should always be at a major tournament.
We're going to change for South Africa there. The likes of Yeko Mobi has gone to the bench. Riek has gone to the bench. Williams, the captain of the team, has gone to the bench. The likes of Pete, the last team that played in the last game that they played South Africa. Yogo Bros, for the different talking about Ethan Brooks of this world. Your Pesi Taus, Victor Letsoalo. So they made a huge change in the starting 11 here today, talking about South Africa. Guinea, on the other hand, they don't have Naby Keita today for this encounter because he got injured, and that is one of the reasons why. So in the starting 11, also the likes of Francois Kamano, one of the players that is also out from Lokomotiv Moscow, is not available. Mohamed Kamara also, another player that is out, based in Switzerland. All those players are out injured. So we do see a goalkeeper who was not a regular in the starting 11 when they played in the AFCON tournament get a chance here to be in a starting 11 here today, Ibrahim Konem. So let's talk about the coach of Guinea. He was in charge of the team that they played at the AFCON tournament. A lot was expected from them, but they came up against the Gambian national team.
The surprise of the tournament, no doubt. Gambia with no pushovers for debutants at the tournament, and everyone thought they're going to be pushovers, but certainly was not the case.
It was indeed a big one. When we talk about the way they've actually gone, that is talking about Guinea as well as the Gambians respectively. And looking at this match here today, it is South Africa who are hosting Guinea. And Kortrijk is the venue for today. This is match number 199 for South Africa on the road, by the way. And this is match number 409 overall since they made their return in 1992 international football. When they played France, that should be match number 200 for them on the road. I'll give you the numbers when Bafana played away in matches previously. In the 408 matches played by South Africa over. Let's see now, a chance in for Guinea. Very early in this match, trying to find the back of the net against South Africa. That has made a wholesale change to the starting 11. So if you compare the two nations, South Africa last game played a game, and he's talking about what? 4 months ago, Guinea last played a game that was in the AFCON tournament, now in a Jan Feb.
Yeah, I think a big difference, obviously, in terms of these two teams in recent participation. Guinea playing 4 massive games, not just 4 friendlies, 4 massive games in the AFCON earlier this year. 4 games in 2022 that they've played to Bafana's none. First game for 2022.
It's indeed South Africa's first game in 2022 as they didn't take part in the AFCON tournament. So one of the key players for Guinea in the defense of theirs is the man that has got the most cap for those players that have been selected here for the national team of the head coach of Guinea. So he'll be hoping that he does spare the team going forward. That is Isiaga Sila. And was born. See a chance now. Offside has been given. Born in Conakry in Guinea, 67th cap for him today. 2 goals so far is what he has scored. And both those goals have come against Southern African opponents, Malawi and Namibia, respectively.
What are you saying, Brian? You're saying he enjoys scoring against Southern Africa?
It is indeed. Those where he scored his goals. In fact, even the assist that he played was when he played against Cameroon. And that is in the 2015 AFCON tournament. That's the only time he played an assist in the goals that are scored by Guinea. Here they are now swinging flanks towards the near side of the field for Guinea. Collected by the man I was talking about. That is Isiaga Sila, born in Conakry, 28 years of age. He's playing his football at the moment. He's playing his football for Toulouse. And that is in Ligue 2 in France. But if you look at his history, he's a product of Royal AC, the team that he knows so well in South Africa. Team that is in the same group as Amazulu. We've been told now, parted ways with their head coach. Here comes now near side of field. Celia gets the ball, playing it short this time. Intercepted very quickly by Kuliso Mudau. A man on a very good run at the moment, Kuliso Mudau. Last year, his Bafana debut today, by the way, one of the debutants for South Africa. Tell you about the other debutants in the starting 11 for Bafana. In today's encounter, it is a big one indeed. Coach Hugo Bros saying, coming out, Mark to say, it doesn't matter how they perform. In fact, if they lose the game today, all he's looking at his performance and to see that he gets a good team going forward.
Well, I think obviously he wants to increase the depth. He wants to increase his options because he knows what the game is like. You know, anything can happen in this game. A few key players get injured, and then what does he do? So ultimately, he needs to know who he can call upon should that happen. And that's why he will give quite a few players a run and test the depth within his squad.
2 debutants for South Africa today. One of those in the starting 11. You're going to talk about that is Bandi Leshan, winner of the moment for South Africa. Or from Milano Paris' point of view, the man put in Marisbeck. So he does get his first start here for Bafana. And the return of Tabam Munare in a starting 11, his 3rd cap overall the oldest player in the starting 11 for South Africa yet. Joining him as far as the slightly older players are concerned, it is Veli Mutwa. He's 31, a year younger than the player they're talking about. And a man in the picture there, Puliso Mudau, making his debut as well today for South Africa. Another brilliant season is here for Sundowns, the man from Musina in Limpopo.
He certainly has announced himself on the local football scene, and he'll want to do the same on the international level. He's done exceptionally well for Mamelodi Sundowns, pretty much cemented that right back position with a stiff competition and made it his own. And obviously he'll want to do the same thing in the Bafana jersey.
So you see now the experience coming in. Celia's ball and kick it out to be a throw in again, yes, out of a field. Officials for today coming from Netherlands, that is Aladdin Hood coming from Netherlands, as well as Charles Schaap coming in, as well as Rodenas, all from Netherlands for today's match here between South Africa and Guinea. Rankings. Now let's talk about the ranking story. Let's talk about the ranking story. Yes, South Africa may be ranked slightly higher than Guinea, but on paper, with the way they played and given the amount of experienced players they have who are based in Europe, one would actually say maybe Guinea might just come with the upper hand given the sort of experience they have in a team.
Well, you just look at the experience they've had in this year alone. I mean, the fact that they've already played 4 major football matches, 4 AFCON matches, that gives them the upper hand over Bafana. And rankings mean absolutely nothing coming into this game.
Ball played into Celia on the near side of a field now for Guinea. Stolen by Mtobin Vala now. Looks up, the man from Masilo goes in wide towards the far side of the field, connected by. There is a line Foster laying the ball short towards Dolly. Dolly's long ball in! And Evidence Makhopa missed by the whisker. A beautiful inviting ball played towards Evidence Makhopa. Could have just converted that, but he misses it.
Well, you can see there how quickly South Africa were able to counter-attack. Mtobin Vala winning the ball in the midfield, picking it up, finding Lyle Foster. Foster putting Dolly in down the wing, and Dolly with a delightful clip to that far post. Unfortunately, just inches too high for Evidence Makhopa, and he is a lanky man, so it was a little too high for him. And I think Shando on that far post did not anticipate. I think he was expecting Makhopa to get there and did not attack the ball either. I think he should have anticipated and tried to preempt him possibly missing it and try to get on the end of it.
Is indeed Evidence Makhopa scored on Derby. He scored a brace on Derby, by the way. But South Africa played against Uganda at London Stadium. The man in charge on the day was Halman Mkelele, who was sitting on the bench because Hugo Bros was still trying to understand things around South African football at the stage. On the 10th of June, 2021, that's when they scored a goal. And he scored a brace on the day. Hlongwane scored the other goal for South Africa, the one by 3-2. So let's see how they're going to take this one here, collected by Mudawu, near side of the field.
Well, Brian, I can tell you already South Africa is pressing really high, putting that Guinean defense under pressure, not allowing them any time on the ball. And that's, I think, a really good tactical ploy.
Yes, Shandu's long ball played in. This one just goes behind and will come in as a goal kick. South Africa, we're based in Lille, 29 kilometers from where they are playing at the moment here in Belgium. So some players will be very happy to return home, talking about the likes of Dolly, who was not so long ago played for Montpellier. So he will be happy to see some of the players and some of the players he played with, some of the people he knew in France when they do take on the Le Bleu in the matches coming up on Tuesday.
Yeah, certainly it'll be familiar territory for him, just like it is familiar territory for Lyle Foster, who obviously plays football out in Belgium.
Lyle Foster talking about his run also. One of those players, whenever he's been called upon, he has done very well for South Africa. He was very unlucky in one match where he just played a few minutes in an encounter, got injured, and was therefore replaced. And now he's playing his football at the moment for Bristol FC, that is in Belgium. And this season alone, he has got 4 goals plus 5 assists. That is in the league, and 3 matches in the Becker van Belgium, and scoring 1 goal in the interim so far this season. Last game he played in was that game against Zambia on the 11th of October, where he got injured. Replaced within the first 9 minutes of the game. Now Dolly step forward. Long ball by him. And straight to the goalkeeper, the ball goes.
Yeah, straight into the hands of Cornea, trying to catch him out on his near post, but the goalkeeper wasn't having it. Gets his full body weight behind that one. Great strike, but keeper read it all the way.
Talking about the matches between South Africa and Guinea now. Ball stolen by South Africa. They come going forward into the penalty. They're coming. Chance in! Pulls the ball wide.
Well, that was Tabang Munare. Unfortunately, We know he's right-footed, and it showed in that instance. The left peg not coming to the party there, but he did accept getting into the box, take a great touch out of his feet once again, winning the ball in midfield. Great work by Thabang Munari. Set it up for himself, really. But again, that high press, not allowing Guinea a chance to move the ball around, not allowing them to get comfortable on the ball. And he does exceptionally well, but not the shot to match the work done to win the ball and create the opportunity.
I mean, a lot was said about Thabang Munari being brought into the team. You also had Pomozo as well as Doctor talking about the fact that he was brought in. And the coach said he's the sort of player he wants because he will work hard for the team and get things going for the team. Would have been a better option in compared to Andile Jali if you to think about it?
You know, it's always going to be controversial who we bring in, who we leave. There's so much quality in this country that whoever you bring in, it's like for like, really. And I think he's done well for his club. And that's the coach has seen something that he feels he can use in the national team. I thought that he can add value. There's a list of names we can go through that could be contenders. You know, a lot of people are even talking about Zungu. But ultimately, this is who the coach chose, and this is who the coach has put his trust in.
Ball cleared away this time, collected by Mahopa, then left this time near side of a field. They come going forward, South Africa. Faded by Bandile Shandu, well ready, intercepted well. Now still going forward into the penetrator line. Foster! And a beautiful save by the goalkeeper. Good block, making himself big. Alive in the penetrator, chance in again. And just goal past the near post this time around.
Well, great opportunity there. Once again, coming and forcing the press. We talk about forced errors. South Africa doing exceptionally well to create these opportunities through forced errors. They're forcing the Guinean players into errors with the pressure that they are imposing on them. And that time, Lyle Foster through one-on-one with the goalkeeper. He just needed to slot it either side of the keeper. Does exceptionally well to win it off the last defender, but does not get it beyond the keeper. You have to also give credit to Kone, who comes out and makes himself big really quickly.
Here's Mahopa's ball collected here near side of a field against South Africa. Shandu is in there. And he's putting the pressure. Eventually, ball goes out of play. Taken very quickly. Going forward now near side. Here comes Mudau. Mudau cuts the ball back. And Lyle Foster builds mountains.
Once again, Lyle Foster in a great position, but you have to give credit to Bandile Shandu as well as Kulise Mudau there on this right flank for Bafana. Bafana doing exceptionally well. Mudau there just making sure he gets ahead of his man, cuts it back beautifully, and Foster unable to keep it under the crossbar. And again, it's about the technique. He'll know he should have scored that one. Two great opportunities. At least one of them should have hit the back of the net. He'll be really upset with himself.
He's playing in the country where he's playing his football at the moment. That he's talking about Lyle. Brand Foster, born in North Kasech, in Soweto, cousin to one, Luther Singh. Another player playing his football overseas. In fact, Luther Singh now is playing for Copenhagen for the way at the moment. So Bandile Shandu having a debut to remember. Kuliso Mudau also. Two players having debuts and are playing on the right flank of South Africa. They're really showing exactly why they're called up. They are the top team. In fact, their players don't have high on confidence at the moment.
Very much so. I mean, especially if you look at Shandu, and especially with what he's doing in the Confederations Cup for Orlando Pirates, one of the top scorers in the tournament even. He's done exceptionally well for his team, and that's why he's gotten the call-up.
So the moment the ball collected here, looking to try and see how Moriba will be able to try and change this game here, by the way. Wanting to connect with Guinea to a Guinean mother as well as Liberian father. Man is wearing a jersey number 10 here for Guinea.
Well, once again, we see the pressure there. Shandu doing beautifully.
Ball played in, Lyle Foster. Chance for Foster, trying to play the ball towards Dolly on the far side. Well read by Guinea. Stolen very quickly this time here by Munari. Return ball from Shandu. Well read by Guinea. Get the ball back this time around, and just outside their own penalty area, they try to break from their own half. Stolen again by South Africa. Gotten back again. Here comes Moriba. And ball won here by Mudau. Collected by Thabang Munari for South Africa. The middle of the park plays it wide towards him, Tobin Vala.
Guinea are their own worst enemy right now because they're trying to play out of defense, and South Africa are winning it back at just about every opportunity.
South Africa trying to do exactly the same thing now. Guinea, can they punish South Africa? Ball played in, Velimuta comes out. And offside has been given this time against Guinea. Agibu Kamara making a run, going for a man ball in my time in Guinea.
Yeah, Kamara just straying offside there. Delightful ball played over by Moriba. but Kamara not holding his run in, checking it quite enough. And he finds himself offside, a great opportunity. But once again, it came off a mistake as well. It was Sianda Tulu, and I think the conditions are actually playing a major role here, because I've seen quite a few times on the part of Guinea, especially, players slipping, and that obviously allows the opposition the opportunity to come in and poach the ball. That's exactly what happened to Sianda Tulu there.
When you compare the two nations, all the players named by the Guinean coach are all based in Europe. So there's no single player based in Guinea or in Africa at all for the squad of Guinea. South Africa, on the other hand, majority of the players are based in South Africa. Sianda Tulu is without a team at the moment, by the way. He's one of those who are based outside of South Africa, while the rest of the pack, except for Lyle Foster, are based in South Africa. So he is a very experimental team here for coach. Here comes Moriba now, near side of the field for Guinea, trying to march forward this time. He's under pressure. He's been well watched by Mutau. Mutau does well against Moriba. Still has the ball back here. They're talking about Moriba trying to go across, but double teaming on him, and the ball is collected by South Africa. So about Moriba, by the way, he's a player that is a product of Barcelona, by the way. So when he got there, he was very young, and I first played for Espanyol before. In Barcelona was there between 2010 and 2020 before being given a chance to go and play for RB Leipzig in Germany. He's on a loan stint now at Valencia at the moment, by the way. If they do sell him, this is how much they value him at Barcelona. If they do sell him, Barcelona will receive 10% of the transfer fee for his future sales going forward. Also has a brother who's playing football in the moment. That is Lansinet Kuruma, playing for Levante under-19 team. So he comes from a footballing team, so playing in his 6th match for the national team of Guinea, former under-17 and number 18 player for Spain. Chancey now for Guinea, long ball played in. Chance for a header, ball knocked down. Missed by South Africa, Chancey! And a block coming in, and Velimuto comes back and covers.
Well, great block on the far post there from Terence Mashego, making sure that he gets between his man and the ball. And that was Diawara coming in on the far post. The ball knocked down beautifully and missed by Mvala, I think it was initially. And Mashego making sure that he gets, obviously, he thwarts Diawara's attempt at the far post.
I'll give you Kamara. Ball was a very good ball played in, just nicked into the penalty area, thinking over the defenders beautifully so, and could have been converted, should have been converted, but they did not take their chance. But we got to also talk about the defense that came out and to deny one of the experienced campaigners of the Guinean national team players, Amadou Diawara. You can see there a goals attempt so far between the two nations. Total, yeah. I
think we're going to have to be very wary of that. So obviously, Guinea will be a threat on the set plays, and so we're going to have to make sure that we set up very efficiently on set plays and not allow them any of those opportunities.
Amadou Diawara is one of the senior players for this team. That's old, by the way. Pure citizenship, one for Italy as well, where he went very young, by the way, to play his football from there. And arrived at a very young age. It's a 10,000-seater stadium, so fans have been allowed to come in and watch the beautiful game. This has been a weekend of surprise, by the way, Mark. So yesterday, North Macedonia.
European champions knocked out of the World Cup qualifiers by North Macedonia. Who would have thunk it?
But that goal was unbelievable. 90 plus 2 minutes when the goal was scored. And I always support the underdogs.
That's why we call it the beautiful game. That's exactly why we call it the beautiful game.
A chance in, shot coming in. Velimuto comes and grabs it on a second attempt.
Well, we can see there Conte trying to sneak into that far post there. Terence Mashego has to track his man better, just make sure he looks over his shoulder. Great run, great ball played into that far post. It falls beautifully for Conte, but Velimuto stands up strong, does exceptionally well, has to grab it at the second attempt. But he stood up strong, and great save there from Velimuto.
But Conte was one of those players who were doubtful to start here today because he came there with an injury. And there were stories that he might not be able to make the trip or be able to take part in the game, by the way. Even they traveled the team to be part of this game against South Africa. One of those late inclusion into the starting 11 today, making his debut for Guinea as well today. Former youth player for France, having played for the likes of Paris at under 19 all the way to the B side, and then eventually played for Stade Rennes before moving on to Paris. Then Beta Jerusalem. His current team is playing for a team in Romania. And he's played 13 matches this season, by the way, because of injuries. That's why he was out most of the time. Under 17, under 18, under 19, under 20, 21 for France national team. Another debutant. So both nations are using this game to give game time to some stars going forward. Because look today for Guinea, there's no Naby Keita today. Somebody to come in and step over.
No, certainly. I mean, every coach uses these matches. It's a great opportunity in this window. They have the ability to play 2 games. So he'll want to make sure that he uses as many of his players that he wants to test as possible. And the fact that Naby Keita is not there for friendlies is not a major hassle for them. They'll want him for their key qualifiers anyway.
This, by the way, is a weekend for the qualifiers for the World Cup to be played in Qatar later on this year. So we have a total of 10 nations fighting for the 5 places that are available at the World Cup this year. Long ball playing again by Guinea, cleared away by South Africa. Still alive. Finally away, and then towards the far side. So let's try and give you a rundown of the matches played so far today. Congo holding Morocco to 1-1 draw. Algeria up against Cameroon. That game is still a goalless draw at the moment. Mali against Tunisia, still goalless in the encounter. You've got 2 other matches to talk about. That is the one between Egypt and Senegal. That's one. And then the Battle of the West.
Yeah,
brothers.
I mean, that's a replay of the AFCON final, Egypt versus Senegal. A lot of people call it Sadio Mane versus Mo Salah. But yes, some great matches. And then obviously Ghana versus Nigeria. Doesn't get bigger than that. And only one of each of those contests will represent Africa at the World Cup later this year.
Followed by Celia now to the near side of the field, playing the ball towards Muriba. He looks up and he's got support from Diawara. Long ball played in towards the penalty area. Cleared away. And Kuli Somudao comes across and protects the ball and sends it up. Whoops it forward. Anywhere will do at the moment. Right to the back.
He does beautifully there. Just make sure, not necessary to take unnecessary risks. He does beautifully there. Again, as I said earlier, slip from a defender could be so costly, and that could be the difference at the end of the day.
Here comes Bandile Shandu on the near side of the field. So remember the first time I saw Bandile Shandu, the man at Maritzburg United, Quentin Jetu, said, you must watch this guy.
We certainly are watching, and he is not disappointing.
But here comes Dolly, steals the ball. Dolly! And that's a tame shot. He just couldn't wrap his foot around the ball and get it in.
Well, we've had great opportunities. The score could easily read 4-0 to South Africa. 4 pretty much one-on-one chances. We saw Tabang Monare getting through, Keegan Dolly getting through, Lau Foster with 2 great opportunities. Unfortunately, not able to convert. Keegan Dolly and Tabang Monare, both their chances, unfortunately, falling on their weaker pegs, on their weaker legs, and they're not able to trouble the goalkeeper.
Ousmane Kante was the man that lost the ball as far as Guinea is concerned. When you look at the players in the starting 11 for South Africa, by the way, Mark, you realize Keegan Dolly is the most senior player, caps-wise, in the starting 11 because there's no Ronan Williams. He's sitting on a bench. He's sitting out this one here. And also the fact that there's no Pesitao. So he becomes the senior citizen in the starting 11 of this team for South Africa at the moment.
So he's going to play a big role. His experience will count, and he's played internationally as well, played his club football in France for a while. There we see again, great work there from Kolisi Madao. Every opportunity is from our own work, our own pressure that we apply. They've done exceptionally well up to now. We just need to convert the opportunities we're creating.
Ball connected here once again, good intercepted and well.
Kolisi Madao already is announcing himself on the international stage, already putting his hand up as a contender for man of the match, and we're not even that long into the match, but I must tell you, he's done exceptionally well in this opening half an hour of the game.
Long ball played forward now, near side of the field for Guinea, as they're looking to try and take the game to South Africa. Chance in for ball played towards the far side, collected easily this time, looking up in the penalty. There's a Tieno Barry. Tieno Barry cut inside, Tieno Barry still going, ball played in! And cleared away by Specie this time, false shot again. And towards Tieno Barry, still has possession for Guinea. Another player born in the Canary Islands in Spain. Born in Santa Cruz, the Tenerife. So he was born, and he does had a chance to play his football for Spain, but he opted to play for Guinea. Product of team he was born. Club Desportivo Tenerife, under 19 all the way to the senior team. And the season, by the way, he played a total of 3 matches. 1 in the league, League 2 there in Spain, also playing the Copa del Rey. So he's today making his debut as well for Guinea. One of the new faces in this Guinean squad, 22 years of age. Moriba, good ball towards the far side now. Ball played in this time towards Bari. Bari leaves the ball for Conte. Conte, long ball into the penalty, the clear over South Africa. Tobin Vala, Daddy is up at the back for South Africa.
But I must tell you, obviously, that space behind Terence Mashego seems to be a target for this Ghanaian team. They're looking to exploit the space behind Terence Mashego, so the distances have to be covered. And obviously, they need to just watch how much space they are leaving. It's not the same case. Mudau doing a lot better on the right flank. So Mashego just is exposing himself by tucking in a bit too much from the flank. He's getting too close to Sebisi, so he's just going to have to watch his distances.
How important is it to have a player like Mudau playing in there as a fullback, and then have just in front of him Bandile Shandu also plays there, who can double up in a draw, and then have him on the far side of the field, talking there about where Mashego is playing, but he does have Keegan Dolly just ahead of him. How different is that, the dynamic-wise, for the two?
It's a big difference because Shandu will have more of a propensity to come back. He'll want to defend more than Keegan Dolly would. He'll always be looking at the man overlapping. He'll be looking at the man on his shoulder. Whereas Dolly, you can see Conte getting away from him a couple of times, and that's why Mashego sometimes is overloaded. So that's definitely makes a big difference with Shandu, who will help out Mudau a lot more than Dolly would help out Mashego.
So the scoreline remains goalless between the two nations here in Belgium. South Africa, the host for today against the Guinea. So Bafana could say, I'll talk about the number game for them over the years, how they've fared when they played matches outside of South Africa. This is match number 199. The previous 198, 67 matches, 159 drawn and 72 losses, what they've suffered. Scored 223 goals compared to 231 they've conceded when they played matches on the road. And this is overall match number 409 for South Africa. Now, Mahopa tries to just place the ball and well read by the goalkeeper.
There's so many holes in that Ghanaian defense that South Africa is exposing right now, but we have to improve our conversion rate. Right now, unfortunately, our conversion rate is woeful. We've had 5 great, glorious opportunities, and our finishing has not been good enough. We saw Keegan Dolly available, an option there, but I want my striker to have a go at that. My striker must want to score goals. I have no problem with the fact that Mahopa had a strike on goal, but it has to be a better strike at goal, at least make Kone work a bit more than that.
One player who will probably be itching and thinking to himself, goodness, if I was okay, and the coach gave me a chance to play to the William Pesitao. Pesitao, by the way, Mark, I was looking at his numbers. He has the best strike rate in March for South Africa and in November. Scored 5 goals in March and scored 5 goals in November. And 2 of the goals that he scored in March were scored today.
Okay, on this day in history. Okay.
25th and 24th when he scored the goals for South Africa.
So if it's March or November, Pesitao must play. Is that what you're saying?
October. The other month is October as well. Those are the 3 months where he has contributed. All the 13 goals have come in those 3 months only for Pesitao.
Wow. That's amazing. That's amazing.
And some of those were scored today. So I thought maybe 2017 on this day he scored, 2021 on this day against Ghana at the FNB Stadium 1-0 draw. He scored a goal as well on this day. So he's not going to be taking part today, Pesitao. One of those that was an issue about his injury. That's why he's fit enough. And also ahead of the game that's coming up on Tuesday, maybe the coach say, let me just try different combinations.
Well, there's quite a few players. We know that Fakhri Lekay also not available for this game. And there were visa issues. And then Hlongwane as well. Obviously, with his travel from the USA, there were the visa issues. And so they're not available for today's game. But we probably see them against France next week.
So the ball played is short on the far side by Conte. And a tackle coming from behind. And Mashego might just be in trouble. The Dutch coach, the Dutch referee running across. In fact, it looks like Mashego might just be in trouble. So the referee using a spirit of friendliness today.
I think that's what the ref is coming to say to Mashego. He says, young man, it's a friendly. We don't need any injuries. Everyone wants to return to their clubs. Everyone wants to play the next international. So let's take it easy. No tackles from behind.
So the scoreline remains goalless between Guinea and South Africa. There's never been a drawn match between the two nations, by the way, over the years. So we'll be looking to see how this one will pan out. South Africa coached by Hugo Broos. If you look at the matches where he sat on the bench himself, only 6 matches before today. 4 of those were won, 1 a draw, and the other one a loss. That is, they suffered against Ghana. While the other matches where Helen Keller was sitting on the bench, they won the game against Uganda on the 10th of June by 3-2. And the other 6 matches, men sitting on the bench was Morena, Carpet, Ramurebedi was the man sitting on the bench in the COSAFA tournament. 4 victories and 2 drawn matches. They went through the entire tournament without conceding a single goal.
Yeah, they did exceptionally well. And I mean, that was Veli Motwa. He literally announced himself to South Africa to say who he is. A great performance, leading us to the title. And I think that's why he continues to be in this team. It's not just what he offers on the field, but what he offers off it as well. A great addition to the dressing room.
Here comes Moriba playing the ball short now. Diawara for Guinea as they march on forward. Loses mark and now chancing for the shot. Forced wide this time on the far side. Opportunity, ball paid him at contact. Get away, still alive for Guinea. Players tripping and falling everywhere in the field there this time.
It's really tough underfoot conditions. Yeah, I must tell you, Brian, you can see that players are really struggling to hold their footing, especially when they're trying to control the ball. It's tough conditions, you can tell.
Good ball played in this time. Offside given against Celia. Offside given against Isiaga Celia.
Brian, I just want to go back a little bit. We have to give credit to CBC there. I absolutely loved how he stepped out of defense. Keegan Dolly beaten. I think it was Kamara there who had beaten Keegan Dolly. Looked like he was going to have a strike at goal, but CBC left his position, came out, pressed the ball, made sure that it didn't allow him a sight on goal, and he forced him to go backwards. Absolutely great defending there from CBC. Great work.
If you compare his performance to the first game he played for South Africa, by the way, CBC played only 45 minutes in that encounter. He was therefore substituted at the end of the first half of that match. That was that game where South Africa went to win by 3-2 because he was where the Ugandan team went and scored their goals. So in the second half, I think when he came back, he realized that he can do better. And he needed a good leader to join you also in defense this time around. He did have Sianda Kulu join him in defense for South Africa. Now, good ball in. South Africa, ball paid in wide. Dolly gets in there. Looks up. Dolly, first ball from him. And away this time by Celia. Gets the ball away this time for the Guineans.
Well, that's a great first-time ball there from Dolly. Didn't need to look up. Knew exactly what he had to do. Just put it between the defense and the keeper. Another ball played in. Lyle Foster unable to get a telling header on the end of that one. Mahopa still has it, though.
Yes, Mahopa's ball played in this time. Goes out of play. And what say the referee, and that to be given as a goal kick to Guinea. What do you make of the first 32 minutes of the game?
I'm really dreading the opportunities that we're missing, because more often than not, you end up ruining these missed opportunities. Great opportunity there once again. We saw the attempted diving header there from Lyle Foster. What is good, though, is that we are creating chances. You know, if we were playing the game and there was absolutely nothing to look at, we will lament the fact that we're missing. But the fact that we're creating the number of opportunities we already have is a positive thing in itself. We just really need to improve and up our conversion rate now.
Ball played in towards the far side, collected here by Guinea, kept in play. And just been nicked out. It'll be a throw-in this time, given on the far side of the field. So the scoreline remains in a moment. South Africa, 0, Guinea, 0. The restart play at the back, Guinea. They will be hoping that today they will continue their form against South Africa. Raima Conte, one of those experienced campaigners for the team. 21st cap for him, by the way. Jersey number 4 in defense of Guinea.
Well, once again, they are telling interception there from CBC. Looked like a beautiful through ball. Ball was going to be threaded through to Girassi, but a great interception there from CBC. He's really on song today as well. He's really reading the game well, and he's in the right place at the right time, doing the right things. So a solid performance from CBC thus far as well.
So Isiaga Celia, by the way, he's starting today in match number 67 for the national team. He therefore joins Dianbobo Balde and 67 caps for the national team. And he's just one behind Sheriff Suleimane, as well as two behind Morales Suma, one of the great players for this Guinean team. He was one of those that played against South Africa previously. The time when they played against Bafana in previous matches. So here they come against South Africa now, marching on forward. It is Munare. Munare sends a long ball forward, cleared away by Guinea at the back with Celia. That's the man who now joined 6th overall in the most capped players for Guinea. Player who holds a record is Pascal Feinduno. Remember Pascal Feinduno? In one of the AFCON tournaments, I still remember him in 2010 when they were playing there at Guinea. And I played against South Africa also in 2006 and 2008. Was part of the team of Guinea. Here's a ball collected by Kuliso Mudau. Now, early ball from him and slightly overcooked.
Again, amazing work there from Mudau under pressure. Does beautifully. You can see how he uses his skill. Just drops his shoulder, sells the dummy to his opponent, cuts inside, and almost plays inch perfect pass to Keegan Dolly. I think Keegan Dolly just actually got clipped on his way through there. The ref probably didn't spot it, but I think he might have been through on goal had he not gotten clipped from behind.
Here comes Munari for South Africa. Still no goal scored. 35 minutes of football played. Oh, what a pass. Coming
the combination between Shandu
and Chancin again. Penalty for South Africa. Offside. Offside given against South Africa.
I'm just worried a little bit about Foster's confidence at the moment after the opportunities that he's missed. We saw that after he skied his second opportunity over the bar, he had an opportunity once again to just put his laces through it. He took a first touch, and you can see already now, it looks like his confidence is waning a little bit. He just needs to put his head down, and I'm sure this is where the coaches will say to him now, you've gotten into great positions, just keep going, keep plodding away. You're doing the right things. All you need to do is finish, and he needs to keep his head up.
Lyle Brent Foster. So remember him, he was one of the top scorers in previous editions for the COSAFA tournament over the years. And when you're talking about his career overall, since he started playing his football for Nazreen United FC, and then joined Pirates at the age of 13, that's when he was. So Musa Sissoko has scored an own goal. Tunisia leading by 1-0 in their game against Mali. Well, the other game is still a goalless draw. Already seen a draw earlier on today. DR Congo played against Morocco there to win the game as well. So it is the World Cup qualifiers for CAF region.
Well, Mali playing at home against Tunisia, going 1-0 down. They'll do everything they possibly can to get back in that one. We know how much home ground advantage counts on the continent, and they'll want to make sure that they do at least get a goal back and not lose at home, because it's not going to be any easier in Tunisia.
It is indeed all about fighting for a place at the World Cup proper. The nations you're watching here at the moment, those are not part of those who will be fighting for places in the World Cup qualifiers. Portugal gave it a slight scare yesterday, eventually win their game by 3-1, so they will take on North Macedonia, and that is this coming Tuesday at Porto. That's where they'll be taking them. Long ball played in South Africa, away ball cleared this time around. So Algeria was taking a lead, by the way, in their game against Cameroon. So the match that is taking place at the moment. So DR Congo had a player sent off in their game. So Ismail Slimani is the man that has found the back of the net for the Algerians.
Well, that's a big one for obviously Algeria, who did not have a great showing at this year's AFCON. They'll obviously have a lot to prove and want to get a lot right.
Chance now for South Africa. Ball cleared away, connected by Munare. He's got support near side, Kuliso Mudau. Here comes Bandile Shandu for South Africa. From one Buccaneer to the other, ball cleared away finally.
You know the funny thing, Brian? When they get into the dressing room at halftime, Guinea are going to literally have to man-mark Mudau in the second half, because Mudau has literally been the catalyst for pretty much everything that Bafana has done. It's literally started with him on this right flank, and he's been basically dictating terms. Have you ever heard of man-marking a right back, Brian? I guarantee you that Guinea are going to have to consider doing that.
Tell you the story between Mali and Tunisia. Mark, is that things are not looking good. Musa Sissoko has scored an own goal, 36 minutes. Got himself red carded 4 minutes later, so they're playing with 10 men now against Tunisia, and they're playing at home, Mali, trailing by 1 goal to the first leg of the World Cup qualifiers for the CAF region. This is to look forward to also coming up later on today, 9:30. There was a kickoff for those matches. Egypt up against Nigeria. Egypt against Senegal, I beg your pardon, and Nigeria taking on Ghana. Ghana, the host team for today's match.
Well, I can tell you that obviously that's going to be a massive, massive blow. And Mali, they are going to have to really dig deep now. And I would imagine that Tunisia are now going to try and capitalize on the fact that they have that extra man and try and close out this tie in the first leg.
So set piece given now to the Guinea national team to try and take the lead here against South Africa. They will be looking for their opener here against South Africa. Scoreline at the moment still remains goalless between the two nations. But this is in a very good position this time. Lined up well this time for Guinea as they step up now. Ball paid in straight at Veli Motwa. And he does well to put his body behind the ball to connect it easily, Veli Motwa. Did mention that they will be looking to use those set pieces very well. Agibu Kamara.
Well, I think Kamara with the big boys in the box there, I think they would have wanted him to try and find one of them instead of having a go and trying to beat Motwa on his near post, which was always going to be a challenge.
Good touch, South Africa. Long ball played in. And I tell you, Mahopa did well to get the ball to Keegan Dolly. But Dolly's pass was not the best of passes to try and get the ball to his teammate on the far side of a fail shot. We are now left to 5 minutes before we come to the end of the first 45.
And you can see that Keegan Dolly and Shandu have swapped sides for this last 5 minutes. I think they're just going to try and confuse this Ghanaian team a bit and see what they can offer on the opposite flank, because both of them now will be playing almost inverted because they'll be coming inside onto their stronger foot. Dolly, left-footed on the right, will be looking to cut in. Same thing for Shandu on the left-hand side, cutting in onto his right foot. We'll see how that pans out in this final 5 minutes of the first half.
So far, South Africa against Guinea still sitting goalless between the two nations. South Africa 68th on the world rankings. Now, mistake by South Africa themselves. Chancine, ball get away this time. Specie recovers well and gets that ball away.
Obviously, there's Sibisi playing the ball back to his goalkeeper. Unfortunately, Veli Motwa on his left, weaker left foot, not able to get distance on the clearance and offers it right back to Guinea.
Chancing for a cross. Conte gets there. Ball goes off. Throw-in will be now to Guinea. Taken quickly, played short this time. Bodies to try and get the ball to away again by Specie.
Right, I must say that was a foul throw there from Conte. I don't like it's like at junior level we always get judged for foul throws, but at senior level it's not even considered. It's like, why we even bother teaching it at junior level? It's not a factor at this level of the game.
I think the referee's in a very good mood at the moment, I've got to say. Let's have a look at the ball. Petty now this time. Here comes Mudau. Still Mudau going into the penalty. Mudau cuts the ball in. Trying to go on a shot. He was losing his foot in there. And he landed awkwardly, but he tried to cut the ball back towards his teammate. Well guarded. They know how dangerous he is now. Have a look at the number of players. 1, 2, 3. There's one already covering. And he can play the ball in.
What I love about what Mudau did there, he kept it because he was looking for options and there were none coming, unfortunately, and eventually he tried to just cut it back, but the goalkeeper did well to just close the angle, and he couldn't really beat the goalkeeper from that tight angle. But he, again, what did I say to you, Brown? The catalyst for everything Bafana has been doing has come from this man, and let's hope he is okay. On his debut, he's done exceptionally well, and he will want to see out this game. He's definitely not going to want to go out with an injury. He may be a little tired, I can tell you that, and he's worked really, really hard. He's worked his socks off and done exceptionally well for Bafana. He needs to get back on the park. We want more of the same from him.
Talking about the two coaches, that is Kaba Diawara. He's 23 years, a junior to one. Hugo Bros of South Africa. He was born in France, Toulon in France to be precise. Played his football for Sporting Toulon, played for Bordeaux, played for Rennes, played for Olympique Marseille, Nice. He played for Paris Saint-Germain. amongst other teams that he played for before he eventually went on to play his football for Blackburn Rovers, West Ham United and Arsenal, amongst other teams that he had a chance to be part of before eventually retiring. And also played his football at under 21 level for France before joining Guinea. So he's the man in charge here. Match number 5 for him since taking over the fold as the coach of the team. Diawara, that's another Diawara. This one is still playing football, by the way. And Veli Motwa comes out and almost leaves this field there for South Africa. Let's get your summation quickly, Mark, for the first 45 between the two nations.
I think Hugo Bruce will be happy with what he's seen. The combinations have been great, especially down this right flank between Mudau and Shandu. And you can see also the partnership between Lyle Foster and Makgopa. The way Foster's almost running off of Makgopa. They've done exceptionally well. The only thing they haven't done, Brian, is put the ball in the back of the net. I think you'll be very happy with the performance up to this point. It's just unfortunate that we weren't able to score one of those opportunities. But overall performance, the two in the midfield, Munare as well as Mbala, have been solid. They haven't allowed anything cheap through the middle. And you can see Mashego now on the ball on that left flank. He's done well as well. Dolly with a chance on goal. Exactly what we're talking about. Just the final product. But a great ball once again. Mashego playing Dolly through on goal. Dolly trying to lob the goalkeeper, but unfortunately the execution not quite there. But promising performance. And that's a ball played from Sianda Tulu. Great touch, first touch from Mashego. And there Dolly just needs to lift it over the goalkeeper. But again, everybody working really well as a unit. It's a great team performance, only missing a goal in that first half.
So the scoreline here after 45 minutes of football played in Belgium. It is South Africa 0, Guinea 0. More coming up on the other side of this.
Wow, what a first half.
What makes a champion? Is it the
I hope you can join me.
Is it the crunching tackles?
And then we
flying
check first
halfway across the continent
and see
and
our
scoring a
views.
late winner in front of
How
your
do you see the
opponent's
first
fans?
half? How did it
Is
go?
always
Do you see
showing
Bafana winning
against
or do you see
rivals?
Green winning? Because hey, kunzima shem. Kuthatha bana. It's difficult. Just click the link and join, and then I'll add you, and then we can talk.
It's the magnificence
Just
of our
click the link
champions, handmade and
and
crafted
then
on our beautiful African
join. We
Witness
talk.
the triumph of the 2021-2022 Total Energies CAF Confederations Cup live on SABC Sport channels, SABC TV channels, and SABC radio stations in your language of choice. This season, we are #crowning champions,
Because
and we love it here.
I'm not sure if I see us keeping the position, because it seems like we have been beaten in the position. We don't have the ball most of the time. We have less ball positions, even though we have many shots and then shots on target more than Green. But in terms of the ball, keeping the ball into, I don't know if like maybe we are playing in the counter-attack sort of like type game where we just like play the counter-attack just to catch them when they're not away, to just break them in a normal play. I'm not sure if it's happening or it's possible to happen, you know. Because even when I check the lineups and the subs to say in case maybe who they can bring, probably that to change the game. I'm not sure, because like we have defenders like Yoroshin Derug, and then you have this guy from Stellenbosch. I'm not sure it's Mkaba, the young boy.
I was in America,
So
spending time among
it's
people
very
looking
tough.
to
It's
take
very tough. It's
control
very tough.
over their
Because
destiny.
we have Ethan Brooks, which
7
is a
states
midfield.
now offer the term of the hill, the option
Probably
of
can
ending
come
their lives.
and then can help us to have the ball
Cocktails,
position in our
medication.
side so that we keep the ball. And then besides that, there is none, because the other is Nico Mobi. There's nothing you can do. But let's see. Let's hear the commentators.
Actually, Hugo Bruce going into the change room right now, looking at his players and saying, do you want to play football? Doggy, my coach, left, right, and center when results aren't coming. South Africa, one-on-ones, 2 opportunities from our number 1 striker up front. We just can't seal the deal. 0-0. If you just joined us out in Belgium, or South Africa taking on Guinea. Chances galore, frustration for the bench of South Africa galore. Dr. Kumalo, as well as Pomoza Manenza, join me now for this conversation of the 45 minutes, which is half-time break. Doggy, your first view of the first 45.
Chances missed, you are bound to regret after the game. Because by our creator merchants, they go behind the defense, combinational play, everything that's supposed to be done, they're doing it. And irrespective of some of the players, your Foster and Mahopa combinations, it's for the first time. But I must give them credit because they do have entries inside the box. They've reached the final third. And yes, of course, Guinea even our merchants. But Ogamanje, where we seated, probably South Africa will be leading by 3.
South Africa dominating this match. Take a look at that shot at goal. There are 9 of them, 6 of them, Pomozo, on target.
I think we need to give credit to the 2 debutants today. I thought that Khuliso Mudau has been amazing. Bandile Shandu, amazing on the right-hand side. The interchange of positions that they're doing, Ushandu no Mudau, has been excellent for Bafana. But in midfield, we also need to give credit. We said we're going to zoom onto him because of his age, Thabang Munari. I thought he has been bossing that midfield. His ball rotation together with Umtobi Mvala has been amazing. Hence, the number of chances that we have created. Good movement off the ball by Ufosla and Mahopa. That's why we have created the most chance.
When you look at the total number of passes, South Africa are outplayed as far as that is concerned, completing 143 of the 160 that Guinea made compared to our 110 to the 131 chances created. But if you've just missed the first half, well, let's give you a heads up of some key moments. Very early onwards, we saw Munara there getting the first chance of the game. I think it was just over the 8th minute when this happened.
Yeah, I thought that Thabang Munari, especially in the critical phase of the game, his reading of the game, his anticipation of when to press and when not to press. When I go to the moment, what I want to show you is his anticipation and his vision in terms of anticipating that pass to intercept it. When I go to it now, what I want to show you is that when you start the move, Thabang Munari is the man in orange for you. It's Sila, the captain, that is playing the ball across the field, which Doc will tell you as a coach, that rule, you can't play the ball across.
Definitely
it's suicidal. But as soon as he wins that ball back, now look at the amount of space that he has covered. He has got all that space, but you're also looking at the second option, Mahopa, or on the far post. Can he be able to play that ball? This is the option that we're looking at. Can he play that ball to Mahopa for Mahopa to be able to run onto? That is another option. But after all the work that he has done, he decides to go for target and
Was Foster
go for
not an opportunity there as well?
Foster is marked. He's attacking the near post. So therefore, you need to look at the far post.
Yeah.
And you're going to see clearly on the slow-mo to say what work does Munari do. Look at how it is. Sila on the ball. He plays the ball across. Good pressing from Munari. He wins the ball and he goes for that second opportunity. Now, when you look at it there, even Fosla, after because the 2 defenders are now going to Munari. So he had 2 options of the 2 strikers to be able to play the ball to. But good work for him, good reading of the game. We said he's 32. The coach has said he's not selecting players that are over 32 when he first got here. Now he's given an opportunity for players over 32. He's making his 3rd cap for Bafana a great first half.
Foster there is the man that was running onto the ball. We wanted to see him because Foster has not played much South African football. So a lot of people would never have seen him in action. He does get an opportunity early on, was here as well, Doggy. I think it's the 10th minute when he gets his opportunity here. After some good work, we spoke about how the right has been overloaded, but Guinea as well, very careless with the passes. This is the 2nd time when this is happening. He gets a one-on-one. One thinks he could have done better. I mean, you understand, as a striker, he's going to go to, for goal.
Yeah, the Pana Bofunega, what we call individual brilliance, because the keeper has closed the angle. And the Obonile, in this angle, you can tell what he's going to use the right leg. So the keeper overlay the angle. Now this is where individual brilliance is. What he should have done, the lace technique, far post, like that, far, because the keeper,
outside of the foot.
Outside of the foot, yes. So that's a technique that it's very tricky. South Americans, they master it very well. That's the only way he could have scored. Or maybe round the keeper, then plug it.
Yeah, no, ngiyakuzwa. Yeah, I want to go. I actually would have worked.
When you're looking at the moment that I want to show you again now, is the same right-hand side where Shandu and Mudau are operating. It's also a quick throw-in that is made by Ushandu. When I go to the moment, you're going to see that it starts from the throw-in, and when you roll it, you're going to see it's a quick throw-in to Mudau. We spoke about the interchange of position. Look at the space that Mudau is using. Now, one thing that Mahopa does well here, he's not going to be involved in this move, but he makes that run to the near post. The man that we need to be looking at is Lyle Fosler in orange. Interchange of position, Shandu is supplying Mudau now. And when you roll it forward, you're going to see that Mudau cuts the ball back. And as he cuts it back, look what Mahopa does well. What I love, Doggy, look at Mahopa in that near post.
Yes.
He has taken the defender away from Lyle Fosler.
Yes.
Look at all that space that Lyle Fosler has. Lyle Fosler is the man in blue that is about to take the shot. He's supposed to hit target. The young man is supposed to hit target at that moment. But good work again from Mudau and also Ushandu. Now, when the team started, Shandu was playing in front of Mudau.
Yes.
Now, with the throw-in, it's a quick throw-in. It's Shandu that is applying Mudau. Look at that cutback. He does everything right. Now, look again at Mahopa in the near post, and he's doing nothing, but he has moved the defender. And when you roll it forward, Doggy, look at Lyle Fosler. He has all the time in the world to hit targets.
Sithele ngamanzi boy ungajaha uphakathi ku-18. I mean inside. Sithele ngamanzi, relax, control, make sure, because the reason why the technique kunale kuthiwa control, when you're not sure of the weight of the pass and you're not sure if you're going to connect properly. Now, this is when you apply manje a control technique. Control it, plug it.
And this is all in the 15th minute. So everything you've seen so far, there's only been 15 minutes of football that have been played. You get to the first moment now when South Africa under attack to now try and gauge ukuthi South Africa wona uyakwazi ukuthi mase kunetha ngakubona sikwazi ukubeka amabhakede amanzi angangeni endlini.
Now, the space that was supposed to be managed by Umashiko, the ball played behind. You can see that the back four is not played together.
Yeah, okay.
It's the first time that they are playing together. You can see that Bafana has got all 10 players behind the ball, but that space in behind Umashiko in that moment, that's what Conte is looking for. He's looking for that space. He has got the physicality better than Umashiko, but the cover defense from UCB needs to be better. Kulu needs to shuffle across. But when you look at it, it was a great move. Good reading of the game, but a great save by Motwa, who's the captain and the leader at the back.
But okay, when you look at it as well, and Dallas South Africa, very easily shoved off the ball there. Usibisi ukuthi hayi man, suka la ubhekane nento.
Angithi manje uyabona bheka le pass le. Kunalento le esikhuluma ngokuthi it's a body language. That wouldn't have been a short pass. So if umuntu adonsa inyawo libuyisele emuva kusho ukuthi wenzani?
Preparing for a long ball.
So he's preparing for a long ball. So what do we do there now? Yeah, what do we do? Drop and center. So because it's a long ball, 3 steps backwards and center. Kusho ukuthi mase lifika, you're ready to challenge. Because like ukhuluma physicality asikwazi ukubamesha labantu. So you need to use your brains. Inyawo balitregele mover. So that means it's not a short pass. It's a long ball.
So,
yes, exactly.
Now, you might have think that the 2 Foster moments there were the closest we could get to go. But this right here, Doctor, is the closest we've got to do. Individual brilliance right there. And then I would have expected so much better from Keegan Dolly.
I think inkinga ekhona manje kwangathi sijahela le goal leli asisana composure, we don't like, which is good there now,
but it's the keeper.
No, but angithi manje masibheka iliphi inyawo uDoli alisebenzisayo. It's the left. Ibhola liza ngakuphi? Ngaku right. So into bokumela yenza alicontrolele ngaphakathi angene in front of the defender because uyamtouch, it's a penalty. Draw a foul.
One thing that I love about Bafana, they're first to the ball. They're quick to react. They've got the anticipation. They're always ready. Keegan Dolly in that moment, great interception, but it's on his weaker foot. But you expect a player that has played in France to be able to play with his weaker foot, which is the right foot in that moment. And when we looked at the picture where they were coming back in, you can see Mudau communicating with Foster and also Mahopa. He's the man that
But I am not sure if the comments are fair or they're just being diplomatic to point out the mistakes, just to be brushing. Because I feel like they're just brushing. We're not dominating in terms of ball position. Because I believe what can help us sometimes it could be the ball position to try to push the Guinea so that they can sit back, so that at least you understand that okay, if we push them back and then we have the ball in us, we control the spaces, we can easily open them. But I'm not sure. But yeah, they are the football minds that they've been sharing their thoughts about, to say we are doing good, we're doing good. It's just a positivity to say yes, we have positive moments where we can score, we could be leading, but I feel like there's lack of proper combination of people that will settle and then make sure that they are free to play easily, because now it seems like they are scared for making mistakes, because if they know that if you make a mistake you'll be dropped and then the coach will bash you out. But anyway, welcome to the second half. Thank you.
African point of view, bar not converting their chances, Mark.
Barring not converting their chances, I'm very happy with how that first half went. I think it is a great team performance, Brian. That's what is really pleasing for me. When you look at the structure, the organization, the setup of the team, I think they've done phenomenally well. And I hope they can continue in that vein in the second half. I'm just trying to see, because I kind of saw Ethan Brooks undressed. It looks like he was going to come on the field. That means that the coach would be changing things. I'm not quite sure who or what the sub will be. If it is at all a sub, maybe Ethan was just warming up. I could be wrong. But we do see that Guinea are looking to make 2 subs, in fact.
Guinea are going to make 2 subs at the start of the second half here. That is one of those. Mori Konate is about to be introduced. That's one of the players coming on, as well as there is Mamadou Kane is the other player being introduced. We'll confirm shortly who they came on for at the start of the second half of this encounter. First half looked very, very good, I've got to say, as they went on attack and trying to find the back of the net. So 2 changes by Guinea at the start of the second.
Ethan Brooks is in fact on the field, Brian. I think it's Mutobi Mvala who's gone off, if I'm not mistaken, because I see Monare there, I see Brooks. So I definitely think it's Mutobi Mvala. I'm not sure if that's an injury for substitution, but we can, I think, confirm that Ethan Brooks is in fact on the field for Mutobi Mvala.
So Konate getting his first touch. He's coming on from the bench here for Guinea at the start of the second half. One of the changes made here by the coach of Guinea. The other player, it is Mamadou Kane. Both players born in Conakry in Guinea. One of them playing their football at the moment at Olympiacos. Is currently on loan, by the way. His loan is going to end at the end of this particular one now. Long ball played towards Dolly. And just been cleared away from Dolly. Going to pressure Dolly, immense pressure. Throw in South Africa. So, want to say something, Mark?
I might be mistaken. I'm just trying to see, but Rushin De Rijk looks like he's on the field as well. So I think Sibisi may have gone off as well for De Rijk.
So I'll try and confirm the changes for you for South Africa as well as those for Guinea. We know the 2 players are introduced by Guinea at the start of the second half. But as to who has gone off for them, we'll confirm that for you in a bit. So Foster is still on the field of play for South Africa. Trying to get a rundown of the players who are now playing in the second half of this encounter. First half scoreline, South Africa against Guinea finished in a goalless scoreline. Second half, so you're watching the combination of the players here in the second half. That's how they started. Ethan Brooks is on the field of play, by the way. Tamam Monare is there, Bandile Shandu, Lyle Foster, Keegan Dolly, Evidence Mahopa. So the player that has gone off has to be Mutobi Mvala. We don't see him on a field of play at the moment for South Africa.
Yeah, well, we see Rushin de Ruyck also. We know that him and Sianda Kulu have formed quite a partnership at centre back, as the centre back, the preferred, I would say, centre back pairing of Hugo Bruce since he's arrived as coach of Bafana, and that's exactly what we seem to have on the field at the moment.
He's in there indeed. You can see him right to the edge of a picture there. Rushin de Ruyck.
You see him already getting into it with Conte there.
He was the man that had an unfortunate situation in the game against Ghana, where he was adjudged to have handled and actually brought down the opposition, and a penalty awarded by the referee on the day for South Africa. Against South Africa, by the way. So, second half of this encounter. Goalless, the scoreline is at the moment between the two nations. Guinea have a chance to try and open the scoring in this encounter. Stepping forward now on the far side. Ball played in long. Chance! Header coming in and cleared away. The referee blew his whistle already against Guinea.
Well, it seems like there's an offside call in there, but a really tight one once again, I'm pretty sure. But Velimoto has to come out and command a lot better there. Be sure of himself. Make sure he reaches the ball at the highest point.
Under pressure there from Ibrahima, but he did well to come out off his line. So still the scoreline remains South Africa. Chance in for Guinea. They're looking more like a team with the Peppers here in the second half of the Guinea national team.
Yeah, they certainly are. You can see definitely direct instruction to get closer and put more pressure on the South Africans and not give them any space or time.
Second half of this encounter, in case you just joined us, where have you been? The first half was a thriller minute game between the two teams here. Thriller second it was for South Africa. Trying to find the back of the net against Guinea in this international friendly. Been played in Belgium.
This certainly has been a very entertaining friendly. Only thing we're missing really is goals. Let's hope we'll get some of that in the second half for the team in green.
That's the fair, by the way. One of the South Africans that used to play, Darren Keat, used to play his football here,
yes.
by the way. Used to play his football here previously, Darren Keat. So, for returning to South Africa now, he's on the books of Cape Town CDFC, but he's been out injured since then.
Darren Keat certainly making his way back from injury now, working hard, trying to win back his place that he never really had because he joined them and unfortunately hasn't really been able to do duty for Cape Town City.
It's already had a team that has so many talented players in there, especially the Zambican Angolan goalkeeper there, the man from Angola, born in Portugal, is doing so well. Talking about Hugo Marquez in goals for the team of Cape Town CDFC. They also promoted a young player who's been put into the senior team of Cape Town CDFC. So plenty to talk about. Ball played in back this time towards goals here, collected by Guinean keeper there in Ibrahim Kone. Long ball played on the far side of the field now. Guinea have an opportunity to try and set themselves up here. Turning it up and playing it short this time. Across expected. Whooped in. And just behind everybody. Goal kick will be given now to the goalkeeper for South Africa. We are in the second half of this encounter. Still no goal scored between the two nations.
Well, a lot more expected there from Salah. You can see now exactly what Guinea are doing. They're pressing very high up the field. They're literally pressing up on the box, on the 18 area, something we didn't quite see them do in the first half. Very different, and that's why they're not allowing South Africa even to play out of defense, making sure that they make us very uncomfortable.
But I've done at the back, Gene, if you look at the way they're playing at the moment, yeah, that is, you see now, Conte is tucked in more. So you have the new player that just been introduced now that is wearing jersey number 19. They're talking about that is Mamadou Kane. He's slotted in a position where Conte used to play. So I've seen Ousmane has been taken off in the defense of Guinea. Cisse has gone off as well for Guinea. So they made double subs here. That is Cisse has gone off. And the other player has gone off as well.
Ousmane Kante and Cisse have gone off. And yes, Conte is joined basically. That is, Antoine Conte has now joined Ibrahima Conte in the middle as the two centre backs.
So let's see now. So the full back is a new player just been introduced now. Chance in for a shot! Taken on a line connected here by the goalkeeper. Veli Mutwa.
I think both ends of the park, unfortunately, the finishing hasn't quite been what is expected at this level of the game. The shots are not really extending the goalkeepers, not really troubling the goalkeepers. And both benches will feel that the players need to do better in that regard.
So Species definitely gone off as well as Mvala for South Africa now. On the far side, a bunch of paper, the referee cutting inside for the Guineans, looking for a chance to take a shot, and he's eventually sees Moriba on the ball. In the ball shot again, bent towards Moriba, looking at Tenning, looking to play the ball in. There's a player down for South Africa. Sienna Kudu has gone to the ground, and eventually the ball is kicked out here by Guinea for him to get attention.
Osianda Tulu went down, and they were literally knocking the ball around him. Eventually, I think someone was screaming, ball out, ball out. And eventually they decided to take it out. He clashed there with Guirassi. And Guirassi, you can see, is an imposing figure, really big man. Both players came off. I think it was a collision of their knees. And you can see both of them really feeling it.
One thing for sure, BC will leave the field knowing he did so well today. From a South African point of view, if you look at his performance as when he played his debut match on the 10th of June, was not the best of performance, but today, they're shown exactly what he's made of. So Ethan Brooks has been introduced.
I think he's done exceptionally well, Brian. I must say he did a sterling job. Surprised that he didn't get to see out the game or play a bit longer. But obviously, it seems like it's one of those situations where the coach already had premeditated subs.
It's indeed a long ball played in by Guinea over the center, collected by Duriek. So he's the man that he replaced. Specie at the back. Diawara. Here comes Moriba. Rodani gets up again, looking to get the ball forward this time. Well read by Guinea's confirmation of the change that will be made here in the second half of this match. Not a dangerous player, they're not watching well, South Africa. Agibu Kamara, the jersey number 23, a very tricky opponent every time he does have the ball.
Yeah, he certainly is. He's caused quite a bit of problems. Even his delivery from set plays, he's the one even finding the long balls. He's put Conte through behind Masheko a couple of times. So he's definitely someone that they have to monitor very closely.
Here comes Guinea going forward. Diawara goes in once. Far side, Kamara is in there once again. In possession. Looks up, trying to play the ball early. Well read by South Africa, connected by Shandu. Shandu laying off on the far side of the field now. It is Koliso Mudau. It's an up and under from him, and the goalkeeper will collect that easily.
Well, you can see there Ethan Brooks trying to bend his run, trying to stay onside, or dolly, in fact, I should say, coming across the field all the way from the left flank to stay onside to try to get the ball through from Mudau. Unfortunately, the ball not played in time.
So as far as the Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers are concerned, by the way, Lesotho played a game against Seychelles, was a draw that match. The 2023 Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers, South Africa preparing for that themselves. So that is why they're playing this game against Guinea today. We've had the prelim rounds of that now. Masheko whips the ball in to the pivot, cleared away. Connected here, chance for South Africa. It is Munare in possession. Still Munare going. Munare walls past two players. And then he finds himself in no man's land, eventually dispossessed.
Well, he did exceptionally well. Unfortunately, the third player, the one that stopped him, did beautifully to beat two players. As we see Mudau still in possession here.
Lyle Foster in possession for South Africa. Guinea wanted a free kick, and the referee said nothing wrong with that. It is Mudau who eventually kicks the ball out because there's a player down for Guinea at the moment.
I think that's Moriba who went down under the tackle, but it was a good tackle from Mudau, I think. He tried to beat him there. Mudau strong. Moriba went down. It's contentious, that one, but I think you need more than that to go down. And Mudau, for me, there did exceptionally well, made himself big and not allowing Moriba to just waltz past him.
So we are now played 10 minutes of the second half now. Chance in for Makopa! Straight to the goalkeeper. Yes, Shandu! Straight to the play in front of him. Chance in, Dolly! Straight to the stands. The ball goes. Corner kick awarded.
What do we have to do to score a goal? What do we have to do to beat Kone in goal for Guinea on this beautiful evening of football in Belgium? I don't have the answer for you, Brian. Mokopa threw on goal. Corner stands up strong. And that's, I think it was obviously Conte who gets in front of it. It falls to Dole, falls to Shandu. Brian, I'm not sure what we have to do to score a goal tonight.
It is one of those days. In Belgium, the net will not bulge at all. Chancey now, corner, South Africa, header, away, Guinea. Flicked on away, this time follow through, connected by Monare. Dispossessed. Ethan Brooks knocks the ball on the shins of body. The ball goes out of play. So Tome Principe played a game against Mauritius. Won the game by 1-0. 4-2 the victory. South Sudan against Djibouti in the African Cup of Nations qualifiers 2023. Goalless draw between Lesotho. Chancey now. Opportunity now for South Africa. It is Fosla laying the ball in. Opportunity! And goes across the face of goal and goes out.
Shandu arriving again beautifully. The late runs we've come to expect of him that he does for his club time and time again. A beautiful reverse pass there from Lau Foster there. And unfortunately, Shandu cannot steer it into that far post. Once again, Kone coming out, making himself big, closing the bulk of the goal. He literally just had that far post to look at, and he just gets it the wrong side of the upright. Almost a beautiful goal on debut for Shandu. Again, Brian, what do we have to do to score tonight? We've done everything right. And again, what do we have to do to score tonight? I am not sure. I am really perplexed at the moment because we literally are building up beautifully. Some great combination play, great interplay. You can see exactly how we want to set up, and it's just the final product that is missing at the moment. But once again, great interplay and exceptionally well done there from Lyle Foster. Great taking his defenders one way and then the reverse pass into the path of Shandu. Inch perfect according to weight as well, but just not the finishing product.
An hour has come and gone between the two nations. Still no goal scored. South Africa and Guinea still playing to a goalless draw. Is this how it is going to end? Or is there still there more twists and turns? Let's go to the end of this encounter. And a good recovery there from Mashego under pressure. Pressure from the new man. For Guinea trying to find a chance to find the back of the net, something that South Africa have failed to do so far in this match.
Yeah, South Africa certainly have some guilt-edged opportunities that they have missed. A lot of these players are going to walk off the pitch if they don't rectify it, really feeling gutted, really feeling like they could have done so much better. And this is international level. To get a goal at international level is really a treasure.
Here they come now. Guinea, can they punish South Africa? Barry's ball played in. Away this time by Kulu. Connected once again, Guinea. Here they have possession outside the penalty area towards the near side. Barry brings the ball down. Support coming through for him. And he's looking for support. Barry looking to play the ball towards Kane. And away this time by Mashego for South Africa. Ball played short. Does well this time. It is Moriba's ball. And takes out his marker. Free kick given against Guinea.
Well, Tabang Monari certainly has acquitted himself well as well. Defensively and in attack, he's done phenomenally well. He's really been a stalwart in this figure. His experience had to come to the fore. A lot of youngsters playing around him. So he's really had to step up, and he's really played a leader's role, a captain's role. He's not the captain of the team, but he's played like a captain. He's done exceptionally well, and he can be proud of the performance that he's put in, as we see him putting in another tackle there.
Goes to the ground. A free kick has been given against Guinea. Esteban Monare has gone down for South Africa. Man born in Mbalenhle in Secunda. One of those players who played for Tuks when they played in the then Absa Cup in 2009, way back in the Nedbank Cup in the way back in 2009. Team that went all the way to the final. And he made his debut for South Africa. A game where they played against Zambia. Then he therefore came back to part of a team that lost against Sudan by 2-0 on the 28th of March, 2021. Playing his third game overall for Bafana today. He doesn't score goals, by the way. He's always those that does a different job. His task is different. Mark, he's not one of those who's supposed to be there to score goals. Supposed to be there to tidy up and keep things very well at the back, and that's what the coach said he needed him for.
Well, I'm really worried right now. I mean, I'm seeing Monare down. He seems to be in a bit of distress. Brian, I'm looking at the bench and I'm trying to see it's going to have to be a serious reshuffling. Atenkosi Ngawa is the obvious replacement. He's a defender who's on the bench. Then Tulu could move into the midfield, but he is moving. Walking off the field, looks like he's going to be okay. I was just worried there for a second because Mvala already went off the field. We already made the sub of a midfielder, so that worried me for a second.
Long ball played by South Africa, cleared away. Guinea now can set themselves up here as they make it run forward. Yeah, in possession this time. Ball play short by Kamara. All the way towards the penalty area, collected here this time by Conte. Conte looks up. Pin a ball towards Diawara. You can see the passes completed so far. Guinea slightly ahead here in the second half of this encounter. Yeah. Another straight pass, another clearance for South Africa. Ball collected, Diawara. Present down, Celia is in there, collected by Moriba. Moriba back again to Celia. Celia looks up for Guinea. Celia to Moriba. Moriba's got acres of space to take a shot from there. Goes in and decides to play the ball short instead. Gets a return ball and well read by South Africa. Great chance it was indeed for Guinea. Try and find the opener here. And Girassi got in there so well. The back heel was brilliant.
Yeah, but you can see what I'm loving there is the cover defense. Some beautiful cover defense. You could see after, obviously, Monare went in with a flying tackle to try and block the shot or the supposed shot where Moriba feigned it and he faked the shot. There was cover defense, which is really good. Even with the 1-2 they try to play, great cover defense, and ultimately nothing came of it.
South Africa will be bringing in two players. One, a former under-20 international. A young man who signed recently for Stellenbosch FC. Now, here they come going forward. Lyle Foster. Two players around him. Fights for the ball back, Lyle Foster. But the ball stolen and one away this time easily. Sent forward this time here by Kane. Stolen by South Africa once again. Another interception from Guinea this time. Another stolen ball by South Africa. Moriba is in there. Still Moriba going forward for Guinea. He's got two players to aim for. Ball to Pedinelli. And just top out and straight into the path of the goalkeeper.
Well, I think Kamara actually did us a favor there because he literally took it off the feet of Girassi. The ball was running through to the striker and he would have been one-on-one with Veli Motwa, but his teammate tried to control it and took it away from him.
Yes, Foster! Straight at the goalkeeper from Lyle, Brent Foster.
Well, we can't fault him for effort. He certainly has tried. Unfortunately, that time, too close to the goalkeeper. You can see he cuts inside, knew exactly what he wants to do. He wants to bend it into that far post, but literally down the keeper's throat, too close to the keeper. And that might even be his last act of the match because we saw Victor Litualo possibly getting ready to come on and most likely for Lyle Foster.
There will be another debutant shortly for South Africa. Taba is about to be introduced. These are some of the fans of Guinea who are now experiencing that the team is looking slightly better here in the second half of this match. Here comes Barry for Guinea. Cut inside Barry. Playing the ball all the way back this time. Collected here by Kane. Kane towards Diawara. Actually, he's the man on the ball. He's not giving Diawara's Konate. Konate goes in and finds support now from Girassi. Girassi playing the ball towards Celia. Celia looks up on the far side of the field. Back towards Girassi. Girassi's ball played short towards Diawara this time. He's the man on the ball. She's flanked now. Diawara, long ball played in, connected and chested down. Near side of the field. Kane's long ball played in. Nobody there. Kept in play once again by Guinea. Fouled, gets up again, looking to get into the penalty area, and then Celia. And the ball goes out of play. Finally, South Africa will breathe a bit.
Great defending there from Mudau once again. He's been a bit quiet in the second half. Right, I told you they're going to have to try and keep him quiet in the second half, and you can already see what they've done. They've literally overloaded that right flank because you can see Kamara playing a lot wider to obviously the Guinea left-hand side, the South African right-hand side, and Moriba, and we've got Celia as well. So they've added numbers onto that flank to try and keep Mudau quieter.
So Lyle Foster will take no part in this game as he's now substituted. In his place comes in Victor Sepana Letsoalo, the last player to score a hat-trick for South Africa, by the way, at international level. So he is been introduced here and is doing so well for his team. They're playing his football for Royal AM. He's contributed immensely in their run this season in South African League.
He certainly has.
So a debut is indeed here for Gaba, who came on, replacing Senda Kulu. And then Baritiano has gone off, and in comes, in fact, the player has gone off, got to say. Got to confirm shortly for you. Moriba has gone off.
Moriba off and Conde on.
So Conde has come on here in the second half of this match for Guinea. Here they come immediately, trying to find a chance to try and find the back of the net. Munare once again gets the ball away. Keegan Dolly. Here come Lorenzo Keegan Dolly. Paying the ball towards Mahopa. Mahopa paying the ball now towards Munare. Munare's got Mashejo near side. Dolly in possession. Dolly looks up. Dolly's long ball. Cleared away by Guinea.
That's such a wicked ball played in there by Keegan Dolly because he's not looking to find anybody. He's just trying to bend it into that space and have strikers run onto it. We can see there that defenders hate those kind of balls because they're not sure if there's actually a player behind them that's being aimed at, and they just clear it and woof it out anyway.
It's another ball played in, another chance for South Africa. Opportunity, ball cleared away by Guinea. Deriek goes for glory himself. Wide the ball goes.
Well, we can see there, ball played in once again. Keegan Dolly with the show me your number on the flank there. Beats his man, all ends up, puts in a ball, and Victor Letsoalo tries to take it down on his chest, but unfortunately doesn't take it down. It goes up in there and gives the Guinean defenders a chance to come and clear the ball.
So it looks like another chance here. Mokoena will be introduced by South Africa.
This man can be exceptionally proud of his performance this evening. Thabang Munare, hold your head up high. You've done exceptionally well. You've represented your country exceptionally well. Great performance there from the man who many have questioned as to why he's in the squad, but he's exactly answered them with a great performance, a solid performance in the middle of the park. Pretty much did not put a foot wrong, and he could even have had a goal for his endeavor.
Yes, indeed. He has had a wonderful performance overall. Talking about Thabang Munare, he's just gone off. In comes Teboho Mokoena, player who's playing today for South Africa for the 16th time in his career as a Bafana player. And he does carry a shot on him there as well. It's got a beauty in a game against Al Hilal, by the way, in a game that was played not so long ago.
An absolute screamer of a free kick.
So his third appearance as a sub for South Africa. It's introduced now. Ball collected. Really from the back, South Africa skating on thin ice here.
A good combination play to get out to the back.
Yes, Letsoalo playing the ball wide. So confirmation of a change there. Munare out, Mokoena in. And the ball forward again. Intercepted once again. You can see overall passes and also accuracy between the two teams. Guinea slightly ahead. They've seen more ball possession in the second half in this game here against South Africa than they did in the first half. Mark?
Yeah, obviously, I think a lot of their possession has come in defense, so they haven't really hurt us. It hasn't been possession in advanced areas of the field, and I think South Africa are happy with that. They can have the ball, they can knock it around the back, but they're not really penetrating. They're not coming forward where they can really hurt us. I think South Africa have been the more potent in attack, been more dangerous in attack with balls like that down the flank.
Here they come now, going forward into the penalty area, looking for a cross. Cross 15! And just goes across the face of goal. Nobody there to tuck the ball into the back of the net.
4 yellow shirts in the box, in and around the box, and nobody gets on the end of it. Delightful ball played in there by Keegan Dolly, and just nobody able to read it, nobody able to get on the end of it. But once again, great combination play, good ball down the flank to find, obviously, that was Mahopa running down the flank. He in turn finds Keegan Dolly, and Keegan plays in another one of those wicked crosses.
So another debutant, the player that just been introduced now, the debutant as well today for Guinea. Scoreline remains South Africa against Guinea. Goalless, the scoreline remains. It's another change to be made here by Guinea. It looks like there is Tansoke Pafore is about to be introduced. And Tieno Bari will make way for him. He had a good game, I've got to say. He was given plenty of chances, another debutant for Guinea. So they're playing introduced now. Jesse number 21 is the player coming on. He too is making his debut today for Guinea. Talking about before that, Dansoko, born in Saint-Etienne. Saint-Etienne in France is where he was born. And he played his football for the likes of Nantes at youth level before eventually making his way to be part of Guinea national team. And today he's making his debut for the national team of Guinea. Now, early ball played in, goalkeeper comes out immediately. You're looking for that man, Dansoko, to try and find the back of the net for Guinea.
Well, it comes off his line in timely fashion. They making sure that the striker there, Guirassi, does not get on the end of that ball. Exceptionally well done. Great timing, great reading of the ball. That is obviously Veli Motwa there. Well done.
Another long ball cleared away this time, collected in the middle of the park by Tebo Mukwena. He's got Mashiko next to him. South Africa in possession. Ball played back towards Mtaba. Mtaba was part of the under-20 team for South Africa in 2019. As today he makes his debut for Bafana. This young man is born in Soweto. 19 years of age he is, by the way, Mtaba. But here comes Guinea now, going forward. Can they surprise and really punish South Africa? Once again, Mudau delivers the goods.
Not if Mudau has anything to say about it.
He's on a ball against Mudau, playing the ball wide towards the far side. We are now in the last 15 minutes of this encounter. Rushin Diriek.
Well, absolutely phenomenal takedown there from Rushin Diriek. The ball dropping dead on his chest. I think Victor Letoile would have loved that kind of control in the 18 area on the opposite end.
But here comes Diawara for Guinea. Still in possession, Diawara. Laying the ball short now towards Conte. Conte's got support for Kane, near side of the field for Guinea. All the way to Conte once again. He's under pressure and sends the ball back to the goalkeeper. Antoine Conte. So South Africa and Guinea are all in pot 2 of the draw that's going to be taking place for the AFCON qualifiers. They'll play the matches. They got buys to the prelim round. Now at the moment you have the likes of the lower ranked teams are playing now in the qualifying rounds. Before we move on to the second part of the qualifiers. Mahopa trying to pick out Dolly, but not well read by Guinea. Conte. Diawara. Ball paid in forward this time. Here collected by, this time it is a Conde. To the near side, Kane is in there. Kane cutting side. Still Kane going forward. And then Girassi leaving the ball behind. Collected here by South Africa now. Keegan Dolly for Bafana. Early ball towards Mahopa. And that's well read. In fact, was trying to pick out Victor Letoile. Well read this time by Conte. And he did well. Just to get a foot in there to get the ball away.
Well, it was a ball played in. Try to play just a blind side of Conte because Victor Letoile was making the run inside of him. but Conte read it well. That is obviously Antoine Conte. There are two Contes at centre back at the moment. The other one, obviously, Ibrahima Conte wearing number 4, but this time Antoine Conte reading it beautifully and making sure that the ball does not get through, because that would mean Victor Letwalo would have been one-on-one with Kone. And we've seen that a few times tonight, Brian.
So Girassi has been watched very well today. Now, long ball played in South Africa. Header coming in. This one just moves away. And Makgopa gets there before. There's a ball down. Makgopa under pressure. Eventually loses his footing. The ball goes out of play. Evidence Makgopa. Still South Africa against Guinea. Still playing to a goalless draw in the second half of this match. 5 changes made by the coach of South Africa. Guinea have made 4 changes so far in this game. On ball played forward, collected here by De Rijk on the far side of the field. Bafana coach did say when in an interview with Andile alongside Pomozo that he's looking forward to building a good team going forward for South Africa. And
Mudau once again.
Yes,
right.
Mudau again. Those are the name they call him Musina's finest.
Well, he is becoming one of South Africa's finest, I can tell you that.
Here's Mudawi in possession once again for South Africa, and he therefore, free kick has been given against South Africa. He got in there just in front of the player, and then Celia was trying to play the ball in. Can see that combination triangle there was all Sundowns. At the corner of the flag, towards the corner of the flag there.
I was just about to
De
say.
Rijk as well as Morena. It was in fact Mukwena rather.
Yeah, I think we need to do it in the right areas of the field, though. I think in our corner there, right near our goal, not the right place to be doing that kind of thing. I think they need to try and play out of defense a lot quicker. Let's keep possession of the ball and play for territory. Play in the half of the opposition. Let's go and play Rondo on the other side of the field.
Agibu Kamara will take this one for Guinea. The dead ball specialist will take this one. 80 minutes of football played. And that is a poor set piece taken by him. Perfectly poised for a South African player. But Celia will try and whoop that one long. Whoops it forward, nobody there. Collected by the defense and will be restarted the play by South Africa.
Well, that's 2 poor balls played in there, Brian. I must tell you, obviously, Kamara with the initial one. The rule with the free kick, at least beat your first man. Beat the first man. And he doesn't do that. And the even worse ball played by Celia.
Here's a chance for South Africa. Ethan Brooks arriving for South Africa. Laying the ball now towards Terence Mashiko. Tebo Mukwena. Back to Mashiko. All the way back now to Nkaba. Nkaba looks forward, sends a long ball forward this time. Ethan Brooks was in an offside position.
Well, if he was in an offside position, that's almost unforgivable. But he is a midfielder finding himself out on the wing. But when you're out on the wing, you have to make sure, because you can look across the line, Brian. You can see everyone. You know exactly when you're offside or not. So when you're in that kind of position, it's almost unforgivable to be offside. Just look across the line, stay on side, because he had acres of space to run into, and Ngaba found him beautifully there.
9 minutes is what remains before we come to the end of this game. South Africa and Guinea still playing to a goalless draw. Guinea now have up the tempo in the second half. They're looking slightly more confident. It's been a game of 2 halves so far between the 2 nations. Now, you spoke about it. I think somebody was listening to you from Guinea, because you said they're going to have to try and cancel out and nullify the right-hand side of South Africa.
And a lot of times what you do in that case, you just overload that side. And that's exactly what they did, because we've seen Kamara play a lot more on the Guinea left-hand side to obviously thwart any attack and to try and keep, obviously, the man Mudau from overlapping and marauding up the flank there. And obviously, we haven't really seen Shandu in the second half. He's been a peripheral figure for the better part of the second half. Not quite the performance that he put up in the first half.
So there will be a change once again because of the offside. So indirect free kick given to South Africa. We'll see now the change coming in. So the set piece specialist will make way. Talking about Agibu Kamara is the player that is going off. Had a wonderful game overall for Guinea today. Delivered a great performance. His 14th cap it was for the national team. Another debutant being introduced here by Guinea. Siku Celia is the player that comes in, born in Netherlands. Skidam is where he was born in Netherlands. He is born to Guinean parents. That's the reason why he's playing for Guinea over Netherlands. Opted to play for Guinea. Played his football to Celsia before eventually moving on to play for Cambuur, where he's playing at the moment. 10 appearances for him this season for Cambuur and 1 assist as well. So it looks like Mashego is in trouble. He's in pain for South Africa at the moment.
He is feeling worse for wear there, but we do have a able-bodied replacement on the bench. As you can see there, Lyle Kay strapping up, getting his shin guards on. A direct replacement, obviously, for Terence Mashego there.
The latest scores is still left for you. Mali up against Tunisia, still 1-0 in favor of Tunisia in that World Cup qualifier match that is being played at the moment. And then elsewhere, in the other matches being played, also Cameroon trailing by 1-0. Islam Slimani, the goal scorer on the 40th minute, while their own goal was scored by the Malian player for Tunisia in their 1-0 lead. That also came in the first half on the 36th minute to be precise. Musa Sissako is the man that scored the goal. The own goal, they also got a red card immediately after that. It's been action galore in that match that is taking place. So Lyle Kay, the man of the moment also from a South African point of view. When you talk about Sundown's performance overall, he has been instrumental, Lyle Kay, as he makes his entry. Born in Athlone in Cape Town. And he does make his appearance today for South Africa for the first time. After a long, long time, the last time he played for South Africa, Lyle Kay. The last game, in fact, where he took part in Bafana match was in a game against Sao Tome and Principe. The 4-2 win that was played at the Nelson Mandela Bay Stadium. So he's only getting his second appearance for South Africa, Lyle Kay.
One of those players who a lot of people have been campaigning for. A lot of people saying a lot of things, and people feel like this second cap is long overdue. And he has been doing exceptionally well for club. And now we hope he can replicate that performance for country.
So he's on now for South Africa. Here comes Guinea, near side. Kane looks to whip the ball in. And a corner kick given to Guinea.
Well, good work working back there from Ethan Brooks. And it must be said, good reading of the game from Ethan Brooks as well. You saw that Lyle Kay was forced to step out of position. And so he automatically went into that left back position to cover. And that's what a team performance is all about. Recognizing someone has gone out of position and being able to slot in and make sure that the shape is still kept.
It's a long ball played in by Guinea. Knocked down! And the ball just been cleared timelessly by South Africa. Another railroad ball in there. And the goalkeeper comes out and collects.
Well, again, we said Guinea could hurt us on set plays, and we saw that ball played into the far post and knocked back across the 18 area. I think that was Ibrahima Conte who got a header onto that one. And unfortunately, no one on the far post to slot it back in. And again, I think it was just a great clearing header there from Ngaba.
Here they come again now, going forward. It is Guinea on the far side of the field. And as the ball eventually goes out and be collected, the throw-in taken by Celia. Long ball sent towards a penalty that cleared away. Only falls short to a Guinean player. Once again, the Riek is in there. Cleared away this time.
Brian, you can see different players who play for different clubs. The way they conduct themselves on the field is very different, and the things they do on the field. You see there, the Riek literally controlling the ball in the 18 area, where Sianda Tulu, for example, would literally have cleared that ball.
So we are in the second half of this match, about to come to the end. Bafana has that moment.
It was Evidence Mahopa, in fact, doing great work at the back there. Great defensive header.
Another long ball forward. Mogopa is in there. Tiwara gets the ball. So they still have possession this time around. So they still have possession. Guinea going forward. This is what the doctor might have ordered. Long ball played in. The Riek is in there. Gets the ball away. You see the moment, just everybody trying to find the back of the net, but really over and above that, Guinea has really upped their tempo in the second half. We're slightly better in the second half as they try to go forward, especially when they play the aerial balls.
I think one thing, they've shored things up defensively because they were not as solid, and you can see the sub that they made. Obviously, they had Kante, the number 17, Usman Kante, who was playing at centre back. They took him out, and they brought Conte, who was playing at right in the right fullback position. They brought him into centre back, and that literally shored things up. And they've been a lot more solid. They also, in that instance, then brought on Kane, Mamadou Kane, who is now operating down the right flank for Guinea. But they've shored things up at the back because they were literally porous in that first half. There were too many gaps in that defense. Conte and Kante were not combining well, and they've been a lot more solid in the second half. Also, they pushed Kamara out to the left flank, so it was Kamara as well as Moriba playing more to the right-hand side, to South Africa's right-hand side to nullify the threat, obviously, that Mudau posed in that first half, and that is literally what has brought them back into this game and made it more of an even contest because South Africa ran riot in that first half.
So the second half it is here between the two nations, South Africa and Guinea, still playing to a goalless draw. And we are now in the dying seconds of this match. So young and old have come out to enjoy the beautiful game in Belgium. South Africa in action against Guinea. After this, South Africa will trek back to where they are staying in Lille, 29 kilometers from where they are playing at the moment. And they're up against the world champions next on Tuesday night.
Wow, Brian, the world champions? That's going to be interesting. Obviously, a lot of people are going to looking forward to that game, exactly how we shape up against what is arguably the best team in the world. Some really, really quality players, some superstars, in fact, in that team. The man who many say is arguably the best footballer in the world right now, that is Kylian Mbappe. We'll be seeing exactly what he has to offer. We know that they're up against Ivory Coast today, and we'll see exactly how that game goes in another friendly international.
So it's all about fighting and playing very well in the moment. South Africa up against Guinea. Goalless, the scoreline remains. The game does end this way to be for the first time the two nations play a draw in matches played previously.
I must say
won both those matches.
This has probably been one of the most entertaining goalless draws I've ever seen because it was full of action, Brian. There's a lot of chances in this game. This game deserves a goal, I should say.
Not a chance in, a shot taken. This one goes wide. It was once again, and then Kirasi getting there, trying to find the back of the net for Guinea.
That's pretty much what he's been limited to. If you look at it, Kirasi has worked really hard in this game. He's thrown his body around. He's tried to really make our defense very uncomfortable, but they haven't given him a sniff at goal. He literally hasn't had a chance at beating Veli Motwa because the defense have been very organized. They've shaped up exceptionally well, and that is how we come to the end of it. A very entertaining goalless draw. South Africa can be proud of the performance they put up, but I know that Hugo Bruce will feel that we should have won this game. We could have won it by 2, 3, maybe even 4.
Thank you guys for watching. I'm really glad that you watched the match. I hope next time we'll discuss and talk more about the game and see how it goes. I've sent the link on the chats. I was hoping that anyone would join and then we talk because I feel like it's our nation if you're watching for South Africa, for Bafana, and then it's your nation if you're watching for Guinea, if you're from Guinea. So thank you for watching, guys. Let's just hear the comments that are more diplomatic, I believe so.
Is that the score is 0-0, shots at goal, 15 for Bafana, 10 on those on target, but not even a single one of them threatening. On the other side, it's 9 and 4 percentage there. South Africa lacking in both halves. There was a lot to talk about, so we're going to go straight into some of the action that you saw. 0-0 at the end of 45. You've got to ask yourself, what do Bafana have to do? What does Hugo Bruce, how does he learn from this? It's going to be my last question to Dr. Kumar to say, what does he take away from this? But right now, let's go straight into some of the action.
The action that we're going to, Andile, I want to focus on what our wing play was doing. How well it did in this game. In the first half, we saw Mudau and Bandile Shandu.
Yeah.
This time in the second half, we are looking at Terence Mashiko and also Ukikendoli. When I go to that moment, I will start it when Derok plays the ball to Mashiko. What is important is when that ball is flighted in the air. Now we need to look at how we are positioned up front. Now look at that space that evidence Mahopa is supposed to run onto. Look at that space that evidence Mahopa is supposed to run onto. The flick on by Ukikendoli to play the ball. Now in this situation, Andile, you are looking at a 3 versus 2 for us. This is an advantage for us. To Shandu, he gets that second opportunity. Third opportunity goes to Kikendoli, but still we can't score. But it starts on the left-hand side.
Sabela Madlozi.
Yeah. Sabela Madlozi one time. Ngori Aranichko says that bora ilanini yawe kotambiwa Andile. Ikotambiwa ngene Terence Mashiko. Ukonyaga Kikendoli. Kikendoli achiflike nela bora.
That's a great header, by the way.
Yes. Evidence Mahopa offer jene la bora. Ngo araniko imisa hapo no. Nokon jwana for Shandu okono wana chikale ne chila anti. Achiko rush out iko blockiwa. Iko yaka Kikendoli abena ene iko blockiwa. So that was the best chance for me of the second half.
Mahopa is within his rights to take that shot, though. As a striker, as a man up front, yes, there could be options, but he's within his rights to take that attempt.
No, definitely. You see, Skulumanga striker city onga pasi irresponsibility. Take it, and then there is it's a great save. Option 2, you should have laid it, you know, for the other player to finish. But again, I still maintain. Inside the box, our players need to compose themselves, calm yourselves, telling a man. The minute you start to rush, decision making is wrong. You need to calm yourself, compose yourself.
But in that instance,
which instance?
The one that we're looking at now. Evidence Mahopa, 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper at that time.
But I need to with my own eyes and view, the best player that was in the best scoring position was for him to lay there in order to finish. Because it comes Ngagupi, the weaker side, AI. As a striker in John Busho, rightfully so, taking a shot, that's another option.
Because there were others as well.
There were others, but we can't fault him. He's a striker, he needed to finish.
In the second half, there was a plateau of opportunities in the first half. I think I'm counting as much as 8 or 9 there from Bafana. But in the second half, there was another key one.
There's another key one, and in this instance, the work is done on the right-hand side. Kuliso Mudau, my man of the match.
Best players.
If you ask me to select a man of the match in today's game, I'll give it to Kuliso Mudau. In this instance, it's Lyle Foster. He has the ability to find Ubandile Shandu. He does everything right. You want to say to any youngster, when in that position, go across the goalkeeper. But the most unfortunate thing is he drags it a little bit. But he starts on the right-hand side. Again, it's Kuliso Mudau finding Foster. Foster finds Shandu. He goes across the goalkeeper. Unfortunate not to get a goal in that moment. But one thing I need to say, a debut for Mudau, excellent. A debut for Shandu, excellent.
Great debut, Mudau. I don't know if you agree, Doggy, but he did put up what was a man of the match performance.
Yes, according to the plan, and also Beba complementana. The two rightful backs were complementing each other. This side to Toli, Mashiko, complementing each other. And all the chances were coming from right and left. So that it was balanced.
The wing play was strong.
Very strong.
Yeah.
You know, but only one thing, Manje Ogmele, who were good throwing port, finishing inside to the box.
Now, Hugo Bruce was watching this match. He was sitting there on the bench, a little frustrated at times. What is his takeaway? Because he said from the get-go, ukuthi lapha siyofunda, siyoyikala kwabanye ukuthi thina sime kuphi. What are the answers to those questions that he wanted?
Pumuto sum it up, all the debutants, bafike bayenza umsebenzi. And Kulu, umnike 70 minutes, ngoba angithi fitness bengakabi right. Did very well. So from this game, it's a good result, 0-0, compared to the players that Guinea had. And Diana, he had players that he was trying. So he's building for the next tournament that is coming, the qualifiers, the AFCON. He's still on the right track. Didn't concede. The beauty in term landing, entries inside the box, shots at goalkeeper, final third, combinational play, individual brilliance. Everything is in there. The only thing I showed I imagine, composure inside the box, and let's learn how to finish one-on-one inside the box.
When you look at it, you also have to look at the fact that you look at our experience. Our most experienced player is Keegan Dolly in the starting lineup, or the man that played the game, making his 22nd cap today for Bafana. Now, we've already spoken about the wing play. Mudau and also Ushandu were excellent on their debut. You look at Terence Mashiho making his 5th cap for Bafana, playing with an experienced Dolly. So down the wing position or the wide areas, we did very well. The key would be up front. I thought Foster played very well. He needs to be encouraged. No, he missed a lot of opportunities.
So what was the well?
The well is
into the chances that afforded him the opportunities to be missed?
Key. Positioning.
Yeah.
Runs off the ball. Bringing midfielders into play. The last chance that we showed
Hold
now.
up of play.
Hold up play, lace off to Shandu. He did that excellently. And that's one thing that I'm saying he's going to take away from this game. But what other thing that is excellent? Munari, Mvala, Mukwena. I can't wait for Tuesday, Andy.
Tuesday, that's the match we're talking about. That's the match, of course, that SABC Sport will be bringing to you as well. It is a France that have Mbappe, that have N'Golo Kante, that have Benzema, that have Pogba. I could go on. That's the match that's going to be, of course, live once again, brought to you by SABC Sport. But tomorrow, 2021, Hollywood Bets Super League Awards, 26 March. Red Carpet ke yibuqala ngo-7 bese nawo umdlalo omkhulukazi kakhulu. France iqhubene phezulu ke nayo iBafana ngolwesibili ebusuku ngo-10 o'clock uzobu live ke la ku-SABC Sports na ku-SABC 1 ungazi uhlele sisonke sila siphelele. Siyabonga ke ninonke emakhaya ukuthi nihlaleni nathi phela ngantso.